Any questions from last time?
Fresh.
We did. It was last time, I think we did the engaging the core, wasn't it, from underneath?
Yes, the pelvic floor.
Pelvic floor. But today,
The general idea of doing it. So my experience is that I think I said it, that we usually do it too hard if you describe how to, because we are not aware of the pelvic floor at all normally. And so you explain, or somebody explains how to do it, and then you do it very strong. And so over a long time and lots of exercises we do together, it's just to stay in touch and in control of the pelvic floor, and it's changing a lot.
Yeah.
So, and also together with all the core torso stability stuff, it's just an addition to this, but it's very crucial, I think.
Yeah. Nice.
But the same, like so as a singer and wind instrument player, it's the same with Stütze, the supporting of the air. Everybody's doing it like this. And so what I experienced from your breathing teaching is being elastic, and that's enough. And so might be the same with a pelvic floor, to have it in this yeah, how you call this, perinaltic, this movement, peristaltic movement.
Yes, peristaltic movement, dynamic movement. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes, I think that's nice to draw the parallel with the supporting for the breath for the wind instrument player, because, I mean, the day I first felt myself support singing from my pelvic floor was amazing. People talk about it from the diaphragm or maybe from the belly, but actually get it right down from the base. So I think it's actually the same, I suspect. I wonder how much difference there is between the two. And that's something to explore, perhaps. I don't know how to do this sort of sucking up through the straw, as it were, for singing, but certainly getting that support right from the base.
I like the straw because it connects it with your head.
And
not just about down here.
It was your question, Marie, how it is for man, but with this image, sucking in whatever, wherever, with which organ ever, it's, yeah, doesn't matter. But it's this movement
from underneath.
Yeah, and this direction. Yeah.
Okay. Any other comments from last time?
But it's still like, so my feeling, it's still like on and off pelvic floor. Switching it on or off. But maybe there is lots of nuances, and yeah, I don't know.
Well, hopefully you're not switching it off to the 100% you might have done in the past.
Yeah.
I think, one can be lack of toned, or one can just be lack of toned. And you still know that that's, for me now, that is lack of tone and that is engaged, but it's not the same difference as, the complete collapse. So I dare say there's nuances in it, and more we're looking to get it switched on so that it doesn't even a little bit switch off. So I suspect does that make sense to you?
Yeah, but it's more the on is still, I forgot to use it, so it's too much.
Yeah. Okay, well, let's play again. I had my second vaccination on Wednesday, so I thought we wouldn't do anything. Actually, my arm is better today, but yesterday and the day before it was quite sore, so I thought I won't do any arm work today. We're going to do a session on feet.
They say it's best to move your arms after you get it, actually.
Sure. Absolutely. I thought doing a load of planks and push-ups was probably not.
Yeah, but feet come at a great time for me, that's for sure.
Righto. So what we're going to do today is we're going to play with the standing Qigong horseman pose, and then we're going to play Alexander's mantelpiece game, and then we're going to do some Chinese wife footsteps, which I think we did before, didn't we? We did those ones, and then take it into moonwalk that I don't think we did. So it's not the full Michael Jackson moonwalk, but it's close enough. And then we're going to play a game of hopscotch. So sound fun?
Can I ask my son, because he's interested in the moonwalk as well?
Yes, it's developed. I mean, you can teach him to it. Teach it to him later, but
Yes, I can do it later.
yes,
Yeah.
I think that's probably best because it's quite complex. And when I do it in class, I step with people. I step it up slowly, whereas of course you guys, I'm going to do it all in one go in 5 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you've done the Chinese wife steps beforehand, which is the preliminary, so you know how to do that. The hard move.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the hard bit. Yeah, but you've done that before. Let's start lying down, just because it's nice. And so just seeing when you get there, just being aware of seeing. Seeing from the back of the head. And even if you're still preparing, start the seeing anyway. Seeing across the space. Seeing the colors and the textures. Even if it's just the white ceiling, the color and the texture, even of a white ceiling. Seeing the space for the ceiling. Being aware of your peripheral vision. Maybe just letting your nose feather stroke down and up the ceiling so that your head just changes angle on the books. Being aware that your head isn't stuck on the books, it can nod and come up. You can go side to side as well. And as you're doing that, just being aware of the breathing coming into play. Just being aware of the breathing on the out breath. A little come on do with the breath. Making it come in and letting it flow out. And letting that longer out breath. And seeing if it moves down the back into the pelvic floor. And then very gently on the next out breath, engaging it back and up. Doing the smoothie straw thing. And being aware that the pubococcygeals then come forwards. And the pelvis might even round a little bit. Breathing in and letting the pelvic floor widen again. And again on the out breath, just gently engaging through the vagina or the etheric vagina if you're a man. And again, in breath, and on the next one, just drawing in and up. Pubococcygeals come forwards. And just letting it come up into bridge. Making sure that the adductor muscles stay working. Big toes stay engaged. Stay there for a breath and widen. And down again. We're not trying to go too hard or too high yet because we're only just warming up. Warming up that back and up. Engagement of the pelvic floor, engagement of the psoas. Engagement with everything that takes us back and up, and we can come up into the bridge. So in the bridge, of course, the pelvis lifts off. It's also called 2-foot support, what have we called it before? Where you come back and up, and the pelvis lifts up into the air. Can you hear me all right, Hannes? Do you know what you're doing?
Yeah, I think so.
Yes, that's okay, good. Oh yes, you are up, that's right.
Yeah.
Mari, can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Good. So just when you're ready, letting the pelvis lift up into the air, back and up. When you're ready, coming down again. That's it. Hang there for a couple of breaths and then using the next out breath to come down again. Are you okay to do the bridge, Mari?
I'm doing it.
Sorry?
I'm doing it. You
Oh,
can't tell.
in micro form because I can't see it. That's fine. Yeah.
It's quite small, I guess.
That's just fine. That's perfect. Yeah. Good. And then just take the arms overhead as well on the next one. And down again. And one more time with the arms. And the next time you come down again, we're going to stand up. So just rolling over to come to standing now. Okay. So let's just, when you're standing, just finding that atlanto-occipital joint. We've got the atlanto-occipital and we've got the center of gravity up behind the cheekbone. And so we're thinking of the head rolling forwards and up.
Are you okay? Are you okay? Yeah, we seem to have lost your microphone.
Mute. Now, can you hear me?
Yeah.
You can hear me. Good. Right. Good. Yeah, that microphone. Get it out of the way. Okay. So what I was going to say was that the head, of course, is rolling back and up, isn't it? We've got this. I talked about this idea that the condyles of the skull, they don't just hinge. They actually roll a bit in the joint, so that when the skull comes back and up, it doesn't just hinge, it actually does a little bit of a back and up. Even as the nose is coming forwards and down, the back of the head is coming back and up a bit. So there's a bit of a that, isn't there? So that forwards and up. So here it is rotating forwards and up around the center of gravity, but it's going to take the occiput, the sort of the overall of the forward and up, but there's a back and up at the back of the head, if that makes sense. Are you
Yeah.
following me?
Yeah.
It feels like
So, yeah. Just finding that breath to the base, just letting the breath come.
now you're very
Okay, can
yeah.
you hear me now?
Yes.
Back and up. So again, just letting the breath come in. And back and up. And see if you can put the two together. So this is the head goes forwards and up. So the back and up is happening here. So that we're linking that back and up that we've been finding here. We're linking it with this movement here as well. And of course, we've also got the idea the breath is coming up and out through the eyes. which might also be part of the same system. Down and wide, back and up. Down and wide, back and up. And even as the back and up is happening, so the pubococcygeals are still coming forwards. So we've still got an opposition there, because otherwise it would immediately take us into the tilt. So we've got the back and up, but also the forwards and up. How's that? Does that make sense?
Yes.
And if we take that into a gentle bounce. One is aware that the down pressure is followed immediately by an up. We're really finding our up force in the bounce, aren't we? It's Harry, send your fingers down a bit so the arms aren't dissipating the energy. The arms, don't let the arms be floppy. That's it. Is that better? Just keep them a bit more firm.
Yeah.
And then add some screw in the ankle as well, because that's another back and up. So we've got the back and up here, and the back and up here, and also the back and up in the ankles are all taking us all back and up, and they're all opposed by the forwards and up, the forwards of the perineum, also the forwards here and the forwards of the eyes. So we've got these, all these back and ups, which again, if you add in the screw in the ankle then to the bounce, what's the difference? Does adding the screw in the ankle change the bounce for you?
Yeah.
I've recently been working with the ankles a lot because I've lost it. I've lost my ankles back and up, and I can't find it.
Did you find it just then?
I'm thinking about it a lot, but I don't seem to find it, which I don't know what that means, but.
Put your feet a little bit more on the diagonal, it might help.
Outwards?
No, the other way. Yeah. Now take
No.
take those ankles back and up and away from each other. Just be a bit extreme about it. I'm going to take hold of them and do that to them, as it were. That's it, there. So you're just letting them lift you back and up from underneath.
Yeah, a bit more.
Good. Okay. And then if you try the bounce again, thinking that, does it help it? Knees are falling in. So let's add a bit of hip, keep stable here as well. So that the ankle's coming back and up, but the knees don't fall in. Keep the hands a bit, that's it, that's better. Yeah, how's that?
I don't know. I have a very hard time accessing it lately. I don't know why.
Okay, well, it's just one of those things. Okay. Let's try a standing horseman. Now I'm aware I can't go very far from the computer because of the sound. So, but what we want is to, let's just see if we can, we're going to come into a monkey basically, and think about the fact that your hip joints are actually at the front, aren't they? They're not at the back. They're actually at the front, under the ribs and over the instep. So the hip joints are coming back and up. So we're finding our directions forwards and up with the head, and this back and up with the back of the head, back and up here, opposed by the pubococcygeals, back and up by the the screwing the ankles as well. Now put your feet a bit further apart for this. That's it. And then back and up, and you're going to come into as upright as you can. You're behind your knees. You're coming into a monkey, so you're coming to a bent knee. The knees are bent, but that's it. Coming back, Marie. So you're coming behind you. That's it. And then we're going to stay as upright as we can. And we're going to, so can you stay more upright, Marie, I wonder, in it? So you've got more here rather than into a monkey. This is more, it's the horse riding stance. That's it. You know, it's as if you're sitting on a horse and there's a little bit of bounce in it. And then we're just going to stand here for a few minutes and see if in the static pose, we can continue to find that flowing back and up, and the breath, opening the hips. And if the knees begin to hurt, think of that up line that's coming out of the earth and up the body. And the knees can stay bent, but there's a flow up the legs as well as down. That's it.
This is a Tai Chi pose.
It is a Tai Chi pose, yes. It's a standing meditation, and they do it for like 20 minutes at a time, but we're just going to do it for a few minutes, just to see if one can find that up from the feet to the lower legs, up the front of the lower legs, up the thighs, up the psoas, pubicoccygeuls keeping coming forwards. That smoothie straw still taking us up. And the breath still coming down and then up. And we're just keeping the dynamic within it. Even as we're staying stationary, keeping it flowing. We send the breath all the way down the legs and all the way up again. Breath comes down and wide into the pelvic floor and maybe right down into the feet, and then back and up on the out breath and all the way up and out through the eyes. Going into agony. Whether you're okay are you okay there? Yes, that's it. Just keeping it flowing back and up. Flowing down and flowing up. Continuing to come forward. Back and continuing to open. Okay, and then gently taking the crown to the ceiling and letting the legs uncurl from under you and coming up. Yeah, so we're not popping up, we're just letting everything unfold up again. Okay. Any comments about that before we go any further?
So I was playing with the pelvic floor, reminding it again and again, but also with the in-breath still staying toned. So it's like staying toned, but widening.
Yes, absolutely. So we're not just letting go. It's eccentric. It contracts.
Okay, but it's widening eccentrically.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Lovely.
Yes. Okay.
Good. Okay. You okay with that, Marie?
Yeah, it's quite easy.
Yeah, it's great feeling.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Yeah.
Right. For the mantelpiece game, ideally we need a mantelpiece. So I don't know whether anyone's got anything that they can take hold of. I'm just spotting the fact that I've got these bookshelves, which would work nicely.
What's the mantelpiece?
It goes above a fireplace. Yes, Marie's got a windowsill. Something
Yeah.
that
Ah ja, Kaminsims.
you've got a translation, have you? Yeah. So the idea of the mantelpiece game is it's about coming on the toes, because so often when people come on the toes, they sway forwards. And the point of the mantelpiece game is how straight can we go up and down? So, are you okay there, Hannes? We've lost
Seems to
Hannes.
have lost his connection.
Back in a minute. So take your hands off for a minute, Mari, and we're just going to just find that connection we just had, but then find the, do an elbow pull, and then take the fingers of one hand out to the side, and then, oh, here's Hannes coming back, good. Ah, excellent. Yep, good. You're still muted. Good. So standing by your windowsill, and we're just going to find a pull to the elbow, outwards, forwards, and down, and then take the fingers, send the fingers away, and send the fingers, keep the elbows out and bring the fingers back. So basically we're sort of doing a hands on back of chair onto the bookshelf, and then finding the beak hold if there's something you can take hold of. And on the other side, fingers out to the side, and then the elbow stays out and the hands come back in. Until we've got both hands on the bookshelf. And again, we've got the iliacs backing up, the psoas backing up, the pubicoccygeals forwards, the engaged calves, and just send those, pull to the elbow and pull to the wrist together. So do all the pulls together, maybe with a 3. 1, 2, 3. So everything is engaging together. Hannes, you want to keep the back as straight as possible, because what we're looking to do is come on the toes without going forwards.
Okay.
And then, yep.
It's a bit slow, I think.
A little bit low, isn't it? But yes, just do your best with it. And then how can you...
The pull to the wrist, which direction is the pull to the wrist?
The pull to the wrist is in, isn't it? The elbows is out and the wrist is in.
Yes.
So that you get that opposition, opening the front of the clavicles, and it's opening this front part of the trapezius, and that's the important bit that we're after. So we're pulling that front of the shoulder down, and this is a very important part of this game, because if we let that happen, we will have to come forwards to come up. The more we can get that coming, rolling forwards and opening this part of the trapezius, the more we're going to be able to come straight up. So the hands are actually a crucial part of this, finding that pull to the elbow in whatever way you can, and then screwing the ankle back and up, taking the psoas back and up, the smoothie straw back and up, the atlanto-occipital back and up, and then see if you can come up on the toes without coming forwards at all. That's it. Yeah, that's lovely, Mari. Yeah. And then, so to start with, you might need quite a lot of work in the arms to keep the body back. And then as your body gets the sense of that, you might need to do less and less with the arms. Until in the end, you've got the lightest touch, and you can find that then without the mantelpiece, as it were. So it's all these backs and ups with the shoulders coming forwards and down that enable us to come up in this. That's it. That's lovely. Yeah. Can you feel the difference that pulling the shoulder forwards and outwards and down makes on it? Yes. It's a strong pull, that, and it then somehow enables the back to go straight up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Now move to rather than having the grip on the. Just see if you can just touch it with the fingertips now, and do the same thing. You've still got that opposition of the arms, but you're now not holding the mantelpiece. You're just, or the shelf. You're just engaging it lightly with your fingertips, and seeing if you can.
I'm still putting a lot of weight on my fingertips.
Yes.
I'm not grasping, but I'm putting weight on them.
Yes, and see if you can get it lighter and lighter. So take it gently. To start with, you may need the weight, and then what we're working towards is no weight at all. We're working towards them just being a touch.
But we're staying behind the balls of our feet.
Well, it almost seems physiologically impossible, but yes, you can just go. If you really get that back and up, 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 there really is hardly a forwards movement in the feet at all, in the body. The more you get that, the more you get that opposition at the top of the spine working, the more you can go straight up. Lesson I did with Jando on this, he made me feel a complete idiot. I was coming forwards a half a centimeter, and it was dreadful. It was too much. He was he can go up and down vertically, of course, but then Jando is a perfectionist. That's it. But it's interesting, and it really does depend on this bringing these forwards. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, something to play with. But that was again the very first training course, and I don't know whether it got played after that. And it went into the game of going on your toes, but which Goldie did with me. But she was supporting me from behind, and again I had to stay back in her hands to come up, because immediately one came out of the hands, she wanted me to come back into her hands. So that's how to do it with pupils. Yeah. That, yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of resistance there usually.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's again very strong impulse from the brain. Oh no, I can't go. I have to go forward.
Exactly. It really, the brain will be telling you this is impossible. This is impossible. Yeah. And yeah. Actually, it isn't. When one gets these back and up forces going. So yeah. I'm wondering how I'm going to do moonwalk with you. I'll have to bring it on a chair. Not the ideal lesson to have lost my microphone in. Shit, what was that? Okay. So, the Chinese wife walking, you might remember, was just that little, this is your movement. So we're sitting into the air. We're sitting like we've just been doing. Nice. So Mary's gone straight away into the moonwalk. So the moonwalk adds in this is the other foot. That's it. And the other foot. Yeah. And so as you do so as each foot comes forward in the Chinese wife walk, the other foot is drawing back. That's it. That's nice, Mary, you've got it. So Hannes, can you hear me there? Can you make sense of this? Yeah. Can you hear me all right when I'm at the back?
But do I need a floor which is blank?
Say again?
So I have a carpet on the floor.
All right.
Okay.
Carpet's fine, yes. You don't need the socks on for this, no. So again, the more we've got this back and up, so as forwards, the more again it lets the whole body relax in this. That's it, Hannes. So as the foot slides back, so it then comes onto the heel, comes down. So you're sliding the foot back so that as the other one lifts, yeah, so slide it back. Slide it back so the heel starts up and it comes down, 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 land. Heel comes down, 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 land. So the heel is just progressively dropping until the other foot wants to lift when it gets the weight on it.
Okay, and how?
So start with the back leg bent, with the back leg straight. Sorry, back leg straight, and the front leg is just on the toe. It's straight, but it's straight, but it's just on the toe can lift up like that. That's it. You can be a bit back. That's it. Yes, that's it, and it lands. Yeah, and the other foot. Yeah, and
the way to the
heels. Say again.
And then I switch the weight.
Yes, exactly. So that leg does its Chinese wife. Meanwhile, this one has landed and that allows that to free off. That's it, now free off that leg. Yeah, the front leg now can lift and go forwards and it now can do its pawing movement. That's it. That's it. And lift it forwards. Yep, and pull it back. So now you're going to do that scooping movement. That's it. So don't go so far back, Hannes. You're actually going behind. Just go back as far as the other foot.
Yeah.
So don't think of going backwards yet. Just go to where the other foot is. Just do the scooping movement for me like that. Just do that.
But then the other foot, then they are both level.
They're level, yes. Just do the pawing the horse movement, Hannes. Just do that. That's it. Yeah. You might have done that when you were a child.
Yeah.
There we go. And then the other one. Just to get that sense of drawing the foot back. And you see, as it draws back, when you get to the other, the heel actually comes down even though there's no weight on it. That's it. So you're just drawing it back. And now if you do as it draws back, if you do the Chinese wife, the feet will then transfer.
Yeah.
Draw it back and transfer. That's it. Yes, and take the other one forward. Draw it back and transfer. That's it. Draw it back and transfer. Now you've got it. Draw it back and transfer. That's really nice. There we go. Yeah. So when you teach your son, teach him the Chinese wife walking first.
Yeah.
Because he's got that movement and the sitting in the air, because so many people, when they first do that, they do that. They don't let that happen. They don't do the sitting back in the air with it. They let the hips push forwards. Can you see the difference?
Yeah.
It's really keeping the backs, the spine is staying vertically down there. And that makes all the difference, because then everything just stays really vertical when you do this. You're doing something a bit snappier now, Marie.
What's that?
You're doing something that's more of a snap. Do it slower. Start with the back leg straight. Start with the back leg straight. And then pour your horse and that's it. Yeah. And start with the back leg straight. Yeah, that's it. Start with it straight and yeah, that's it. Yeah. That's it. See if you can get more flow in that front foot so it unfolds like we did the pawing of the horse. You know, when you did the pawing of the horse, the foot did a full cycle. So see if you can get a bit more of that in this movement. Yeah. Because then again, you can't just, you have to keep the torso in charge of the weight that way. Looks lovely. That's it. It's like the more you can make sure that every part of the movement is slow, there isn't a snap. Because if there's a snap, it's probable that you've actually lost balance at some level. So the slower and more controlled you can make the movement, the more you know that every part of the movement is working. That's it. And now the back leg is straight, Murray. Start straight. That's it. And then it depends when we begin the next movement. So there's a point where the foot is straight. The leg is straight. That's it. It does look nice. So one could ask of the point of this, apart from it being a good party trick, which is a good reason in itself. But to me, it's when I was first taught this, I probably told you this story before, I wondered what it was about. And then we went on a long walk that involved being in a really high wind going across very rough terrain. And suddenly my feet came into their own and they were bouncing me across the rocks, I think because of this. So it's really getting the spring of the feet going. And did you all play hopscotch when you were kids?
Yeah.
Alice, did you play hopscotch? I don't know whether it's something boys play.
No.
No, it's more a little girl's game. So normally you lie out you draw out your squares on the pavement with chalk, of course. And so you're laying them out in this pattern. And I'm doing the pattern first. So if we were doing it with chalk, we'd label it. We'd go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 and 10. So we'd have drawn them with chalk. Got some books, Murray, to lay a hopscotch path.
I'll just pretend. I guess.
And that's grand. Yes, you did it as a child, so you know what you're doing. And then we're going to just, well, we do it without the beanbag to start with. But the goal, as you may remember, is to jump. Hop, hop, jump, hop, jump, hop, jump, jump round, hop, jump, hop, jump, hop, hop, and off. So, and the more we've got this backing up of the whole system going on, the easier it will be to bounce along this rather than, it being really hard work. Because we want it to be light and we want it to be precise. Lovely path, Hannes, that's great. Okay, so do you want to have a go at it? Did you see what we're doing?
Yeah, one more. Right.
Yep, okay. So you're going to hop, 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 and then you land on both books. Hop, land, and then you turn, hop, land, hop, hop, and off. Good. So let's just explore being more toned in it. So if we start at the beginning of your path this time, and you find you're screwing the ankle back and up, your psoas back and up, the smoothie straw back and up, the psoas forwards, your elbows outwards, forwards and down, and the wrists inwards and down, and then the head back and up. So just give yourself a 3 with all of that. 1, 2, 3. And then find your little bend, your bounce, like we did for the bouncing with the ankles coming back and up, and then have another go and see whether it's different. I could see a difference there. You can feel the difference, Hannes, can you? Yeah.
Yeah.
Marie, is that different? I still say, Marie, don't let your hands be so floppy. Keep a bit more tone in the arms. Nice. Okay. And then the last thing is that the way it is played as a game is you take your stone, it would be in outside, and you throw it on the first square. And then you hop, so then we set everything going, and you hop, you miss that square. And then when you come to the last square, you bend and pick it up, and then you hop off. So, and you do it square by square.
So the first time you jump over it?
First time you jump over it, and then when you come back, you pick it up. And of course, there we are on one leg. And what we want is a nice active hip fold. She says I'm balancing. Nice active hip fold where we can pick it up and come up again. That's it. So see if you can do a nice tidy fold rather than just a sort of a lean over and back again. See if you can do something quite active with the hips, with the hip folding when you go to pick it up. That's it, yes. So you really are aware of that fold of the psoas as we go. It's quite hard to do. Let's see what you, this is my refinement. And the other one I would suggest is don't always use the same leg. I'm aware I favor my right leg and my left leg is actually harder. So keep working both legs.
So, and then the second book.
Yes, and then the second book. You're supposed to throw it on, but that's fine. Put it on and off you go again. Keep finding your back and up so it keeps lightening. Back and up, everything coming back and up, that's it. Oh, that's lovely and light, Hannes. Keep coming back and up, back and up. Yeah, nice, very nice, super. There is a harder arrangement of books, which is that you take the one from the, we've got two at the beginning. If instead you put one at the end, then you've got a more difficult turn. Because then I then got to turn on one foot harder. Ah! I just lost it.
Ah. Ah.
Okay, do you know, we're out of time. So Hannes, if you want to play that competitively with your son.
Yeah.
If you want to play it competitively, you have it's you can do it outside where you can chalk it on the ground, or you can do it inside with. But you miss a turn if you the first thing is actually throw it accurately onto the right book and get it to land there.
Yeah.
And if you don't get the throw accurately, you miss a turn. And if you wobble and fall off, you miss a turn. You can make up your own rules. And the first to complete the whole sequence, of course, wins the game. So yes, I can't remember playing it competitively, but I'm sure we did.
And it's called hopscotch.
Hopscotch, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I don't know whether they have it in Germany.
Yes, I know it also sometimes draw it on playgrounds.
Yes.
With
yes,
numbers.
That's right. And there's another version which is a 9x9 square.
Yep. It's 1 1 1 2 1 2 1.
Yes, or 1 2 1 2 1 2 1, which is the harder version, because then you've got to turn on one foot, which is harder than turning on 2 feet.
Yeah.
So start with the turning with the 2 feet because it's easier.
Yeah, it's very interesting. I found that staying toned, it's not possible by concentrating, which I try if I get lazy or a bit tired doing it. Then I tried, okay, you got it before, and then I start to concentrate, and it's not possible to stay with the tone.
So it has to, it's renewing, isn't it?
Yeah,
I mean, if you think about how a nerve fires, it fires and then it has to reset, and it fires and it has to reset. And
Yeah.
what we try and do is fire and then hold it.
Yeah.
Which actually doesn't make sense. What we have to do is keep firing the nerves. And that's
Yeah.
about renewed consciousness.
And what you said about the right hemisphere is organizing the movement patterns.
Yeah.
And so if you concentrate, you lose the organization of your movement patterns.
Yeah.
And it makes so much sense.
Yes. Yes. We just have to keep sending the intent, which is so different from concentrating, isn't it? Yes.
Yeah. And I like trusting in that your body will do it and your body will remember all the parts. That's very interesting.
Yes. And of course, this is such a challenge because there's 20 hops in it, or whatever, how many there are. So it's a lot of to keep, and I don't know about you, but I find by the time I get to the end of the first sequence, I've lost it and I have to stop and just renew it and then renew it again before one bends to the books. And yes, I wish I had a child to play it with it as well. So
yeah.
So I think it's a really good challenge.
Yeah.
Okay, hope you enjoyed that.
Yeah, that was great.
Did that help your feet, Mari?
No, but it's a work in progress. I mean, yes, it's a work in progress. Yeah, a lot of issues with the big toe joint lately.
But you were managing the moonwalk, but the more you can get that moonwalk smooth. But the big one for you, I think, is keep those arms toned as well. Don't let them flop. Yeah.
That's good to keep in mind. Yeah.
Okay. See you all in a fortnight, in 2 weeks.
Right. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you.
Lovely.
Bye-bye.
Am I right? No, I'm early, aren't I? Hang on. I'm doing you out of time. I'm looking at my times. What time do? We do 4:30 to 6 o'clock. And we're not yet at 6 o'clock. So it isn't goodbye. Sorry, I've just come back from holiday today. And I'm obviously 3 sheets in the wind and I don't have my watch. Right, we have another 20 minutes. Yay.
I have another 5 or 10 minutes.
Yes, you do. Good. So that's right, isn't it? 4:30 to 6. Yes, fine, good. So let's do some walking in deep monkey. Because what we've just been doing is working all that psoas. And from there, I did this with Lawrence a lot, quite a bit. But I don't know that we've done it together, have we?
We haven't.
We haven't, no. So you're working that back and up, back and up, back and up, and the ankles as well, and everything is coming back and up and back and up and back and up. And normally we would then feel heavy on the feet, so we couldn't move. But if you've really got that back and up coming, you can lift a leg within that space. That's it. And you almost make more fold because it's easy to lift the leg and come up again. But we really want to keep the back where it is. That's it, Mary. Lovely. And then you can go for a walk in this position. So you're going right as far as you can, keep that flat back. And then discovering that you can really hold the body from the hips, from this psoas back and up, so that the legs are still free to move. And if they're a bit stiff and clunky, then you want to do more back and up so that the hips, because otherwise we sort of plonk down. And we want to get the leg being able to extend away forwards. Again, well, the back stays back and up. So don't let the back drop as you put the leg down. The back stays back and up to lift the leg and also to put it down again. So all the time you're working this back and up. That's it. And go as low as you can. That's it. How low can you go? How much can one angle the back. That's it. Keeping the neck forwards if you can, keeping the neck long if you can. I'm going to watch you guys. Actually, if I let my crown of the head, Marie, let your crown of the head come forwards as well, so you're looking down. That's it. Let the crown of the head go forwards and the occiput go to the ceiling. So we've got that.
So I feel
Yeah,
muscles are working very hard.
they are.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
So it's good to do it.
Yeah. So what's the application of this? Going through a fence, when you have to put one foot through and go between the layers of barbed wire and then get the other foot through. Have you ever done that in the country?
Yeah.
Or going through a gate, going through between the bars of a gate. Be able to put one foot through and then the other foot through. And you mustn't get your back caught on the barbed wire. You've really got to stay level down. Because people get halfway under a fence and they pop their back up and get caught on the wire. That's it. Or you might simply be going under a tree branch. Going right down under something and up the other side. That's it. So really working that back and up, back and up, back and up, all the way. Yeah. That's it. That's right. As you move, Hannes. So it's so easy for the legs to become the motive power again. And we really, to do this successfully, the motive power has to be from here, and then the leg is a separate movement.
Okay.
So keep this going all the way through. That's it. Again, you're keeping that intent to keep that back and up all the way through. That's it, all the way through, both on the lifting of the leg and the dropping of the leg. Always that is pulling back. Keep it up, keep it up. Keep it up in the torso. You're working it, working it, working it. That's it. And then the leg, that's it. The leg is a separate movement. That's it. Yes. Is that different?
Yeah. So it's like the hip or the lower back starts to lift and takes the leg with it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, this is the light area.
Yeah.
This is the light area and the rest is, so as I put this down, I'm not just relying on the leg. I'm keeping this, keeping this, keeping this, keeping this, keeping this, keeping this, keeping this. And then all the legs have got to do is open and close. So
it's interesting.
Yeah.
It's interesting to see the difference between one side and the other. One side is very free and the other side not.
Yes, 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 I'm sure. And it's the same as when we were on our backs and doing the active hip fold and then putting the leg down to the floor, keeping that toned, whatever the leg was doing, keeping this toned. So it's the same things we were doing there, but doing it standing up. Does that make sense? Except we're not even just doing it standing up now. We're doing it in a prone position, but an active prone position, as it were. That's it, back and up. Make it, that's it, that's where the motive force is in there. Yes, that's it. You're really having to change your consciousness, aren't you? Of where the motive force comes from.
Yeah. Yeah.
There is an application for this that everybody is doing every day, and that's getting in and out of cars. Because the act of getting into a car involves getting under the sill of the car, transferring weight into the footwell, keeping under the car while getting the other foot in, and then sitting down. And then to get out, likewise, one has to get under the sill of the car and lift the foot out. It's just we're doing it in a slightly more extreme action, but that is what I think this is what we're doing, getting in and out of cars, and it's why it's so hard, because we need to be able to keep this bent support and maneuver the other leg and get ourselves, you know, under the sill of the, under the edge of the, under the door of the car, avoid the steering wheel, and lift the other leg in. And of course, what we've also got is a drop in height, which we can't simulate here so easily. So it's a very tricky action because you're also stepping down and up.
Yeah, and we can't lean forward that much because of the wheel.
Yes, we have to do this lean forward, don't we? And the support. So you can play with that with your cars. And people cheat. They take hold of the car door, they take hold of the steering wheel. But the game is to do it, you know, as if you're carrying shopping, and you can't hold on to anything. So that you really do it from the torso, from this support here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So let's have another go at our jumping jacks that we had last time, because again, what we've got. So our jumping jacks, again, what we've got is the action is that, where this is staying up and back, and we're folding the hip in, except we're doing them both together. And letting this complete curl in happen, but in a more active way. And again, how lightly can we do it? Because again, I think a lot of people's jumping jacks are floppy, and that's it. And again, just think of it in terms of that back and up of the psoas. And also you've got the spring of the feet from the, if you think there's screwing the ankles, so that we get again that more motive power in the foot because the ankles are screwing. This is how light can we keep them? Screwing the ankles, that's it. Yes, nice. Yeah. That's it. Yeah. They're hard work.
Yeah.
That's good.
But I feel it's too squeezed.
Yes, you may be coming in too close.
Okay.
I'm just wondering how close do I come in? Because if I come in right to there, it's very hard to come back again. Yeah. Because you're coming right into there, I think, which is hard work. And I'm just coming to there. I don't know whether you're supposed to come
Yeah.
with the feet right up close. Do you know, Mary?
I have no idea, no.
No idea. So let's not make it too hard for ourselves.
I'm going to go.
I'm glad you could come.
Thank
Right.
you.
Yes, thanks for being here. If we go down
Thank
to despair.
you. I'll see you all later.
Yes.
Bye.
Okay, bye-bye. Yeah, so how was that then?
Yeah, it's good. So it's from time to time it comes the feeling of being a boy, and the elasticity, which is joy, and I can feel that I can have it.
Yes.
Yeah, and all the other the work and the quietness, the calming down is preparation for being able to do it.
Absolutely. Yes. And it allows us to come back to having our inner 8-year-old, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because I would have been 8, 9, 10 playing hopscotch.
Yeah. Yeah.
And,
so there's action, like we are anxious about our and joints. And so from time to time I do some of these exercises. I mean, there is some pain from doing it. But I think when I'm mentally in a good state, I'm not afraid.
well, that will help.
Yeah.
So there's a balance here. I mean, where do you feel pain? Because obviously we don't want to, overdo a joint that really is struggling, because we aren't 8 anymore. On the other hand, if we live in the fear of it, then we just hold the cushion around it.
Yeah, sometimes in the knees, when I'm bending the knee in a very challenging way with standing and bending the knees, something like that.
Yes, so when we get to the really extreme knee bends. Yes, so just being aware of that. Like I say, on the jumping jacks, don't come that far in.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I think the goal to me is just to find that, being able to open and shut and find the springiness and the lightness in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I have lightness on my side. You will be heavier than me, so there is more challenge.
Yeah.
I'm always underweight at this point, an advantage. So other people are working with more weight than I am, but
yeah,
it doesn't matter.
Yeah, you can feel the amount of how difficult you make.
Yes.
And it's more like this walking in the monkey, reminding on the back and up.
Yes.
Again and again. I realize I have to do it every time now.
Yes. Yes. Yes, absolutely. And the jumping jack, of course, again, it's the same thing, isn't it? Because if we lose it between, we lose the elasticity. It's kind of for a sequence.
Yeah, and I have a feeling that I'm reminding on doing sports with teachers, and they are just in the end gaining. They do more, do 20. Then you go to the stage just to do the movement.
Yeah.
And yeah.
And most fitness work is like that. If you go to the average gym class, they're just saying, do 20 of this and 10 of this, and, work those quads harder and hold on tight. And because they're not working with the elasticity of the movement. And then people wonder why at the age of 40, they can't do it anymore. Because they haven't worked with the body. And to me, the jumping jacks, when you get them going, they're like bouncing, because you don't actually have to stop and renew now in a bounce, do you? You can just bounce away. The bounce itself renews it. So I think you're looking to get to that point with these repetitive, because when I was first sort of planning these classes, I thought, well, why aren't I doing these, what one does in a fitness class of, 5 of this and 10 of this and bounces and things. And the answer is because we can't keep the engagement going. And then everything sort of becomes a bit, floppy and all over the place. And when the engagement's there, it becomes a taut and precise movement.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
So the principle, if you can't stay with engagement, it's enough for you. Yeah. If it's fun, it's fun.
Yeah, exactly. If it's fun, it's probably going well. But if it starts to get heavy and labored, you've lost it. You've lost that tone.
Yeah. And with some exercise, just do the preparation and then maybe it's enough. Yeah.
Is enough, absolutely. And people who are listening who can't do jumping jacks, the preparation is enough. And you know, again, you can just do the leg in and the leg out. Can I just, you know, get that everything going and then just take the leg in?
Yeah.
In and out, prepare, in and out, and that may be enough before you jump it. Yeah. So there's the scaling down ways, and then even doing a very little jump. Even perhaps just jumping on the spot. I don't know. We have to. We just jump from there. It's a bit mad, but you know, it's a little jump.
Yeah.
Enough to start with, just to get that bounce sense in this position.
Yeah.
So there's some scaling.
And babies do it. They prepare their movement with small movements before.
Yes.
Like turning the head and turning to the side and all, preparing for being able to 1 year later to stand up and walk.
That's true, actually, and it's the engagement, and it's also using the eyes to let the whole, like when I watched my cat jump from the onto the back wall, and he sat and he looked at it for about between 5 and 10 minutes before he jumped. He just let that information process. Yeah.
Good.
Okay, good. Well, we really did do the right time now. So we only just came back at 4 o'clock, so I'm a bit sick. So good. Oh, good. So have fun with your son on that.
Yes, I will.
See you in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
You're here then? Yeah.
On Monday.
Yes, on Monday, the book club.
And on Friday,
Goldie. And on Friday, the Goldie, and then the next Friday, this again. Yes, great.
All the best.
Okay, all the best. Bye.
Yeah, bye-bye.